Hi everyone, I'm Colleen and I'm back for another live stream. So if you're a regular on these live streams, and if you're a regular watching these live streams, I should say, welcome back. Great to see you again. Drop me a hello in the comments. And if you're brand new to these live streams, welcome. So glad that you can be here. Happy to meet you. Happy to know you. Drop me a hello, okay, in the comments and drop us a like if you like these topics that we're bringing you. So if you're brand new to these streams, this week, what we're talking about are the 10 duties of a dental assistant. So if you're thinking about becoming a dental assistant, not quite sure, what it is that they do, we're going to be listing out the 10 major duties of a dental assistant that are pretty universal from office to office and practice to practice. Of course, these are not all encompassing, but this will give you a really good idea and some insight as to what a dental assistant does, what they're responsible for, and those sorts of things. So if you're wondering what a dental assistant does, or maybe you are a dental assistant and you're wondering kind of, hey, what should I focus on in my resume? What should I include? What kind of skills do I need? Or maybe what skills should I be focusing on and strengthening in order to complete these job duties and tasks effectively and efficiently? And if if you're thinking about becoming a dental assistant, what skills do I need in order to do these tasks, right? So if those are the kinds of questions that keep you up at night, then this live stream is for you. And of course, if you couldn't be here when this stream was live, we're happy you got to watch it later. Okay. So that's what we're going to be covering today. But before I dive into that, again, if you're brand new to these streams, we are bringing you a new live stream each week. And these streams are brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing. Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board. Okay. And they have positions available for dental front office, for dental hygienists, dentists, and yes, dental assistants as well in a variety of different areas. We're talking full-time, part-time, temporary, or permanent positions in a lot of different areas. So if you have some time today, hop on to princessdentalstaffing.com and see what positions they have available in your area. You can also create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers. And after today's stream, if you're a dental assistant or you're looking for a dental assistant role, then you'll definitely know some of the things that you want to focus on and some of the information and data that you want to include in that online profile in order to capture potential employers' attention. Okay. You can also check out their blog. So their blog covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams. So you can also check that out as well. And speaking of these streams, we bring you a new one each week that talks about your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content that we are bringing you, go ahead and drop us a like. And if you have any questions, thoughts, insights, or if you just want to say hello, be sure to comment below, okay? Alrighty, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about the 10 duties of a dental assistant, okay? So essentially, before I get into the 10 duties, though, let me kind of give you a little bit of overview. So dental assistants are usually in charge of, clinic administration, upkeep, and lab work under dentist supervision, okay? And the primary function of a dental assistant is sterilizing instruments, ensuring that all the necessary equipment is ready and, properly handled before each session. Okay, so that kind of gives you kind of a broad overview of what dental assistants do. But let's get into the 10 essential duties of a dental assistant, okay? Assist the dentist with the treatment and surgery of patients, right? We're all there for the patients, right? At the end of the day, it's about, ensuring that the patient has the best care possible and receives the best care possible. Number 2, taking and pouring dental impressions, molds of the mouth, that kind of thing. 3, getting patients ready for surgery. Okay. Number 4, setup of all dental devices and tools that will be needed for patient examinations. Number 5, preparing the patient for surgery by explaining the procedures and post-operative instructions. And that's a really important one, being able to explain that to patients who might not have a background in in the dental field, or even in the medical field as a whole. So explaining that information is really, really important to make sure that they understand what's going on. Number 6, performing administrative tasks. Okay. 7, educate patients on oral health care and respond to their queries and concerns. Again, a lot of communication. Number 8, preparing examination areas. Number 9, maintain a clean, safe, and well-organized treatment room. And lastly, number 10, clean, sterilize, and disinfect dental tools after every use. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the essential 10 duties of a dental assistant. So you can kind of see how, a dental assistant, what their focus is, right? Their focus, of course, is on patient care, but very specifically ensuring that everything is clean, sterilized, set up, and that equipment is used properly in order to contribute to the patient's oral health and continued oral care. Okay, so you can see why dental assistants are so crucial to the functioning, the overall, operational functioning of an office or a practice, right? Because you definitely need someone who not only knows how to correctly, clean and sterilize this equipment, but also, someone who, or some team members rather, several different dental assistants who know how to correctly set things up so that things are organized, and dentists and dental hygienists can, get the tools that they need at the time that they need them, just very streamlined operations. So dental assistants are really, really crucial to the overall functioning of the office. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. Okay, so with that information, let's kind of start talking about some soft skills that you need in order to be a dental assistant. So, with all of those, really important job duties and tasks that, dental assistants are responsible for throughout the office, let's kind of talk about some soft skills that you need in order to complete those tasks. Not only complete those tasks, but to do it well, right? To do it thoroughly and effectively and efficiently, right? That's definitely should be our focus for really should be your focus for any industry, for any position, right? So let's talk about those skills. Number 1, interpersonal skills. So I mentioned several times, how much communication, right, goes on between dental assistants and the patient, but it's not just dental assistants and the patient, right? It's dental assistants and your other team members. So having those interpersonal skills, being able to connect with other people, being able to, communicate effectively with other people and ensure that you're conveying that information, that they're understanding that information, being able to connect with your patients and build that rapport and build that trust is just a really, really crucial soft skill. Okay. By the way, I meant to talk about what soft skills are, so we know what skills are, right? But, we have soft skills and we have like hard or technical skills. Sometimes they're called hard skills, sometimes they're called technical skills, essentially the same thing. Soft skills, so hard skills and technical skills, those are the skills that are, as you would imagine, very technical in nature, and they're usually skills that are easily tested, right? Things that you can usually test and that are, that are specifically related to the position, right? The technical skills. Soft skills, on the other hand, are a little bit more universal. They tend to be skills that you need in multiple different industries, right? And they're skills that are a little bit harder to test. Okay. You usually can't give somebody a test for, say, for example, interpersonal skills. That's a little bit difficult. How do you test somebody's interpersonal skills and give them a score, right? That's really, really difficult. So, these soft skills, you definitely want to demonstrate them. You definitely want to focus on them as a dental assistant, and you definitely want to fortify them, and you want to be able to demonstrate them in a resume. And the way that you do that, okay, the way that you effectively demonstrate your soft skills in a resume is by using accomplishment statements. Okay. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but we'll talk about that a little bit later after we finish these soft skills. So number one, interpersonal skills, exceedingly important for being an awesome dental assistant. Number two, reliability, right? And reliability means, making sure that, you show up to work on time, that you complete your tasks and your duties completely, right, thoroughly, and that you do what you say you're going to do, right? Essentially, that's what reliability is. And that makes you, being a reliable dental assistant means that you are an awesome team member, an awesome person to work with, right? Because all of your team members and your patients can rely on you to deliver those positive outcomes. Okay. Alrighty. So reliability, also very important. Number three, compassion, right? Having compassion for patients, particularly children, right, is really crucial because and we've talked about this in previous streams. Again, if you're new to this, this might be new information for you, but we've definitely talked about in previous streams how a lot of patients, especially children, experience some anxiety going to the dentist, right? Small tools in your mouth, you can't really see what's going on. Sometimes it can be a little bit painful depending on, the procedure that you have to get done. All of that can be very, very scary. So being, a compassionate dental assistant means that you can, again, continue to build that relationship with your patient and to demonstrate that you understand what it is that they're going through and help them feel like you are going to help them through this process and that it's all going to be okay. Okay. Number four, attention to detail, right? So attention to detail, there are a lot of different details that you need to essentially orient yourself towards or pay attention to as you're going throughout your day as a dental assistant. So, we mentioned several times in the dental assistant duties how, sanitation and sterilization are crucial. And when you have those kind of small instruments, again, paying attention to those details can mean the difference between a sanitized tool and something that is not sanitized or just not as clean as it should be, right? And that can mean, passing on, communicable diseases and those sorts of things. So it can have catastrophic consequences. So, having that attention to detail is really crucial. And not just in sterilization and sanitation, but also things like scheduling appointments, taking x-rays, preparing for operations, updating records, assisting the dentist at the chair side, okay? You're dealing with a very small area, you're dealing with very small tools, and you're dealing with very specialized equipment. So having that attention to detail is really crucial in not just completing those tasks, but again, doing it well, okay? Excuse me. Number five, a strong work ethic. So you may be working long shifts. You might even have limited breaks, which is kind of standard in the dental field, really any medical field. That's pretty standard, right? So, having that strong work ethic ensures that, again, that your tasks and everything get done, get completed timely and get done thoroughly. Okay. And those that enjoy, it's also worth noting that those who enjoy their work find this kind of work fulfilling and energizing, and that helps you continue that strong work ethic throughout the workday. Okay. Number six, organization. So again, we talked about, a lot of different small tools, a lot of different pieces of equipment and everything. So being organized means that you're better prepared for a lot of different circumstances, those that you did plan and those that maybe you didn't. Everything having a place and everything being in its place means that you're able to find what it is that you need when it is that you need it. Not just for you, but also for, dentists and dental hygienists and, front office staff as well. Putting everything having a place and putting everything in its place means that you waste less time trying to find what it is you need in order to achieve and complete what it is that you need to achieve and complete. Okay. Number seven, anticipation. So anticipating needs, you're going to be working a lot with dentists and working a lot with dentists, and you're probably going to be helping them chairside quite a bit. So that means being able to anticipate needs, paying attention to what's going on, and looking forward to determine what it is that they're probably going to need in a minute, 2 minutes, or here very soon, right? So anticipating needs, again, just means that not only are you completing the task that you need to complete, but that you're doing so in a very streamlined and effective and efficient manner. Okay. And lastly, number 8, an interest in dentistry. Okay. So, if you have an interest in dentistry, really, and this kind of applies to, like I said, a lot of different job titles, a lot of different industries, having an interest in what you're doing. When you have an interest in what you're doing, it means that you are more likely to professionally develop, to constantly learn new things, especially in an industry like dentistry, where things are constantly changing, constantly updating, new technologies, new techniques, and those sorts of things. You having an interest in that in dentistry means that you are more likely to be professionally developed in all of those different updates and changes, right? And you're able to roll with the punches a little bit better because you actually like what you're doing, right? It also means that you're more likely to remember important terminology, comprehend complex dental processes. Excuse me, I must have a frog in my throat today. And successfully explain treatments to patients. If you're passionate about the field, if you have an interest in what you're doing, you actually like what you're doing. Okay. So, so that's why interest in dentistry is so important as well. Okay. Now, I had alluded a little bit earlier to demonstrating those soft skills on your resume and kind of how to do that, because it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, again, to test those, to kind of score them, right? And to be able to demonstrate something that's a little bit more abstract on a resume. The way that you do it is using accomplishment statements. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. Accomplishment statements, okay, mean that you are tying your actions to direct results, okay, and positive outcomes. And what that does is it helps communicate to potential employers that not only do you have the skill, but you know how to apply it effectively, and you know the importance of this skill. Okay. So say, for example, let's take one from our list. Let's say, for example, you want to be able to demonstrate interpersonal skills on your resume. So then you might say something like that use interpersonal skills to build relationships with patients, which facilitates continued uh, continued elevated oral health by ensuring that they continue oral health practices at home. Okay. So you're demonstrating those interpersonal skills. You're saying you're using those interpersonal skills to build those relationships with patients. And what that results in is, those patients having better oral health care, right? Because you built that relationship, you were able to explain easily certain oral health principles, and they were able to practice them easily, which means, less issues going forward for the patient, right? Um, you know, for example, another example, attention to detail, you could say that you apply a keen attention to detail to updating patient records, ensuring thorough and relevant information is included while minimizing errors and issues. Okay. So again, you're applying that attention to detail and to patient records, right? Updating those patient records. And that means that results in that you're minimizing errors, which means, you're not losing time in order to correct those, spending time correcting those errors, essentially. Okay. So you want to use accomplishment statements. You really want to tie your actions to direct results. Okay. Again, it helps demonstrate that not only do you possess this soft skill, but you know how to use it, and you understand why it's important, because you're able to articulate the result that comes from using that skill. Okay. So that's why those are important. Okay. All right. So I'm so glad everyone got to join me today for this live stream. And we will be back, of course, next week, next Wednesday. We come and complete these live streams every Wednesday for you. Okay, so we will be back next week, next Wednesday, with a new topic discussing, starting and or maintaining your career in the dental industry. But until then, I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you continue to stay safe out there. I will see you soon. All right, have a great week, everyone.